Are we in a new junk wax era? That's the question everybody wants to know. Are we headed for the same fate as the card buyers from the early 80s to early 90s faced? Are we going to be looking back on this as a junk wax era? Or will we call it something else like the junk parallel era? Today I'm going to talk about that. So if you aren't familiar with the junk wax era, it's an era where they just printed way too many cards. They just they got a little bit too excited. Interesting thing about cards back then is they didn't have parallels. They didn't have all these different inserts. They just had the card, the player, the card, the player, the card, the player, the card. If they were a rookie that year, they had a little rookie sticker, maybe. And maybe there were one or two variations of it, but there were very few parallels, which would have been great if it wouldn't have got so popular. Because what happened is it got so popular, the supply couldn't keep up with the demand. People would rush in, buy cards, no more on the shelves. So what you got to do, you kind of got to print more cards if you want to keep making money. Guess you got to print some more cards. So it came with a little bit of greed because they could just not make anymore. So they kept making cards to keep up with the demand. It's like, why not? And what happened is they printed way too many cards. Every player had thousands and thousands of cards each, and it was no real thrill in opening them anymore. Then what happened is something interesting. Now, I do kind of remember this from my grandfather's collection. My grandfather is who got me into sports cards, and he was really, really into it from the 70s through the 80s and then through the 90s. So he saw the whole thing. Now, what I did notice about him when I was little is he was the investor. Now, this is towards the end of the era, is investing and, collectors and like all these different collector sets that you can just put in a closet. I have some of them. Like, here's something I just dug out of my closet. This is a Score collector set, a Pinnacle brand. Another thing about a junk wax era is a whole bunch of companies decided to get in on the action and make their own design for sports. So you had Score, Fleer, Topps, Donruss. I don't know anymore, but they had a lot of them. Those are most of them. I want to open this and see what's inside of it. Yeah, so look at this. They had these sets that you could buy this with all the cards just in it and put it in a box. And then one day you're going to be rich, right? Let's look at these. I never even opened this before. Mike Piazza. So these are all worthless. So my granddad was really into this stuff, which is really unfortunate because he was in sports cards the entire time. He had sports cards from the 50s and 60s from when he was little, but he just never kept those. He went through those. And then once it came to this is when he started to want to collect and hold them and keep them. But I think he said his mom threw out all his cards or something like that. So the key takeaway there, though, is the investor mindset. These became investments towards the end of this era. And isn't that where we are now? It's like, I don't want it to be like that, but I feel like everyone knows we're in that era right now. And I imagine that the same holds true for back then. Is I'm sure a lot of the sellers and dealers, they knew that this was not sustainable. If you were to ask them, like if we had cameras and camera phones back then, they'd probably be saying the same thing. Like, yeah, this isn't, is anybody saying that now? So they probably wouldn't be saying it, but everybody knew it. Like everyone knows that, well, maybe not everyone, but a lot of the vendors and sellers and real collectors know that what we're doing right now actually isn't sustainable. Another thing I want to point out is this right here. If we look at the Tom Brady, you have the base. So in the junk wax era, all of the cards were the base. So does that make sense? So every card in the junk wax era was just the regular base card. There were no other cards. And then they started making inserts. So you got in 2000, you got the base, and you have the gold out of 99, and then you have the Rookie of the Year promotion. Those are the only three cards. And then what you'll notice, let's go forward to 2001, Sean Alexander. Base and the refractor. Let's do 2002. Base, still black refractor. Let's go to 2004. Refractor. And then we have the Gold X refractor. And then the black refractor. Uh-oh. That's four different cards, guys. Let's go to 2007. Then it's the base, the blue refractor, the X-fractor, the white refractor, the red refractor. Still pretty rare, but every year Topps would add more and more parallels. So let's look at Cam Newton. Base, orange refractor, X refractor, purple refractor. Oh, we got a purple refractor now. Black refractor, blue refractor, crystal atomic refractor, sepia, gold. By 2011, let's jump to Dak Prescott. This is the prism. This is when it switched over to prism. Still silver. The flash, green, pink, red, white, blue, silver, orange, light blue, blue wave, purple scope, red crystals, blue, red. Like, look at how many. And then you got the autographs. Now let's jump to Sam Darnold. Same thing. Every year there are more and more refractors. Now let's look at some modern. Let's start looking at how we're looking now. Let's go to 2021. Cade Cunningham, silver. Base, photo variation, blue, NBA 75th, blue. You see, like, it's, look at how many 1 of 1s and of 5s. And so there's no doubt in my mind that we are in a junk wax era with the amount of parallels. The amount of parallels is what's going to crash this. Now we have Topps. Now, one thing I noticed very fast with Topps is the amount of parallels. Yeah, the base, the basketball refractor, image variation, light board logo refractor, negative refractor, prism refractor, pulsar refractor, wave refractor, red, white, and blue refractor, skylight refractor, wave refractor, X factor, magnet refractor, teal, yellow, 3 yellows, 3 aquas, 3 blues, no 4 blues, green, image variation, purple, 4 purples, 5 purples, gold basketball refractor. Like, look at all this numbered stuff, yo. There's 25. This, look at the amount of out of 5s, out of 1s, autographs. I'm just scrolling. It's still going, guys. I'm still scrolling. Instinct. Look at this. This is insane. This is insane. So if you are keeping these cards, you're essentially an idiot. Do not collect this stuff. This is a junk wax era. Now, I'm not saying, look at this. I'm still scrolling. This is, I didn't realize it was this many. It says loading. Like, yeah, we're still loading more parallels. Look at this. This is insane. Like, his cards aren't, none of these, not even, I'm not gonna say Cooper Flag, but anyone in this set, their cards are not rare. Add up. I finally got to the bottom. Look at how many 1-on-1s he has. And I'm sure there are more like, this dude has like 100 1-of-1s. Like, really? Is that what we're doing? 100 1-of-1s? Look at these out of 2s. Anyone saying that this isn't a junk wax era is, I don't know how you couldn't come to that conclusion if you really sat down with yourself. So I'm not collecting anything unless it's like a player that I really like. But from 2020, this amount of, they're going to have to make this stuff more rare. Now, I don't know how long this is going to last, but here's what pops the bubble is a streak of bad classes in across the board, meaning across all sports. Because if you think about from after 97, from 97 until LeBron, there's no one there. I'm sure there's a couple guys, but 97 to LeBron, there's no one, because you got 96 with Kobe, and Jordan's in there. And then from 97, and then Jordan retires, and then you got LeBron. And after LeBron, there's nobody really that kept it up. I'm talking across all sports. You had Tom Brady, but I mean, by the time Tom Brady came around, and before Tom Brady, so football was never really popular anyway. In baseball, there's nobody. So I think a streak of no legends, no obvious foreseeable legends out the gate. So you have Jordan. I imagine he was by his second year, maybe third year, because I think he started out slow. I wasn't there, but I think he started out slow, but he was quickly became a legend. Same thing with Kobe. Kobe was like probably a little slow, but they were like, people were by 97, 98. Kobe was, everybody knew Kobe was Kobe. Cause I think he had a video game in like 98 or something, cause I had it. Kobe Bryant, NBA courtside. Like, so he was already, and then you got LeBron. And since LeBron, there hasn't really been anybody besides Curry. But if sports get kind of lame for a while and there's no one really to watch, I think that'll do it. Especially basketball. I think basketball is the main one. Baseball too, but I think really the cool one that people are really on is like basketball. And right now we got Cooper Flag. If it wasn't for Cooper Flag, I don't think this tops, I mean, for sure, especially if he didn't play good. Like, imagine if it was just VJ Edgecombe and Dylan Harper. Like, there would be this box would be pretty whack, just like last year. Last year's was pretty whack, but last year what we had? We had football, so we had Jaden Dan. We had that class with football. So I think at least football and basketball, two bad classes, meaning the draft happens. They get on the field, they get on the court, and nobody's really standing out. A couple of years of that, this bubble will pop. And that'll be good because then we can reset and go back down to lower supply. And maybe we'll find our next GOAT in a dead card era. So an era where not printing much cards, basically a LeBron situation, or Kobe situation, or Steph Curry situation would be great because Steph Curry's cards are they weren't making any cards. 2009, who's opening cards in 2009? Absolutely no one. So they weren't printing any cards. What I hope is that when that period comes, that they start making less parallels. They start saying, okay, we don't need to make this many parallels anymore. They start making less of them. And I think that'll be bullish. But right now, ride the wave, and just for me, it's just stick with it. Even when it starts to get boring, stick with it and collect what you like. I hate to be that guy, but collect what you like and wait too. Like, there's no need to be hoarding Cooper Flag cards. There's no reason this stuff is going to go down. Another one is Wemby. The thing about Wemby is he has a lot of parallels. So I could see Wemby being a GOAT, but I don't know if he's going to have the impact of a LeBron or Jordan or Kobe. He's not American. And that's already kind of, but I do see it too. Like, I can see a lot of people not liking Wemby. I already kind of don't like Wemby because he's so tall and lanky that it's like not fair. It's like a giant play. It's like me playing with kids, basically. Like, that's basically what you watching when you watching Wemby, is you watching a guy who's just too tall, and it's kind of unfair. And everybody's like, oh my God. It's like, yo, the dude is 8 feet tall and look at his wingspan, Now they'll say, oh, but usually big man, he's not chunky though. He's a skinny, lanky guy. So it's just kind of unfair. So it's fun to watch, but I think it's kind of unfair. It's like he should kind of be in a league of his own. It should be a league if he got with a bunch of tall dudes, you know what I'm saying? Pick on someone your own size. If he got with a whole bunch of other big guys in a lanky league, he'd probably be like the point guard. He's like a point guard, tall dude. So he's an interesting character, but he's a little bit he's not, for me, I wish he were more humble. I think that's my problem with Wemby, is he doesn't seem humble. He seems arrogant. It's like, dude, you 8 feet tall. He should just be like, yeah, I'm just out here doing my thing. I'm just tall. Yeah. And I think that's how usually tall guys are. But anyway, I could go on and on about Wemby. I think his stuff is overvalued, but at the same time, people are stupid. So. Wemby's a beast, man. And I like him, but I don't like when he's cocky. It's like, dude, you're tall as shit. You're taller than everybody, you know. And if you like, and he doesn't even jump that high. Like he can't. Like now, if he was jumping, he doesn't even jump that high, man. Like he dunks, and then when he finishes a dunk, his hand is on the rim and his feet on the ground. He's It's like, dude, you didn't even jump. He's kind of taken away from it. Like it'd be more boss to just dunk it and with no facial. Stand on like dunk, don't jump, and just come down with no facial expression. That would be epic to me. So anyway, I can go on and on about Wemby. Yeah, we're definitely in jump wax era. There's no question. I'm kind of just playing the flipping game with the new stuff. So if you see me talking about buying players and stuff, I'm not buying these guys to keep them, guys. I'm not buying, well, I ain't buying any Penix right now, but I wasn't buying Penix to keep him, or CJ Stroud or JJ. Like this is, or Jaden Daniels. I'm not keeping any of these. I think these, if anything, they probably go down, but I think they find a floor, but I think they just get much cheaper. And I think these, like the silvers and stuff, end up being the most worthless. Like the silvers, anything that's not numbered, and then anything that's like over 100, like those, they might be, but the stuff that's like out of 25 and stuff, I think that will still go down. But I think it'll be cooler to have that stuff. At the same time, I'm kind of seeing that too. People are going towards the unseen stuff, like the stuff that you never get to see. So, the one of ones, that you can't even get a picture of it, like this type of stuff. I think that's the stuff that if I was going to keep something, but none of these guys, as of now, there's no one in the NFL right now besides Patrick Mahomes that looks like they're going to be worth holding. I can't think of anybody from 2023. I mean, from Patrick Mahomes, really. Is there anybody no, it's just Patrick Mahomes. So Patrick Mahomes is like 20 something. I can't remember what year it was. I guess be careful. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button on your way out. Peace.